Now we are on to our final proclamation of the day. I'd like to invite up our presenters for the International Day of Commemoration and Dignity of the Victims of the Crime of Genocide Proclamation. Thank you for being here. You want to come forward? And while you're coming forward, I just want to share appreciation to Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson, Commissioner Vince Jones-Dixon, Commissioner Moyer, and our Immigrant and Refugee Employee Resource Group for bringing this proclamation before us. Chair Vega-Peterson is represented today by Ann Bowie. With that, I'd like to pass it to, pardon? Pardon? Okay, I don't. With that, I'm going to pass it to Commissioner Vince Jones-Dixon, who is one of the sponsors.
Yes, great. Thank you. Thank you, Vice Chair Brim Edwards. It's truly an honor to be one of the sponsors for today's proclamation personally. So I just want to, again, thank the board for actually creating the space since the beginning of the year as far as pausing for a day to do these proclamations. And in short, I think most of you know I spent about a year working in Rwanda from the state of Oregon, and I learned a lot around their unity and reconciliation process. And that started back in 2017, and my hope, one of the main things that I learned was just the challenges, one, what they went through. So most of you, if you don't know, Rwanda went through this horrific genocide back in the 90s, mid-90s, where over 1 million people were killed over the course of 90 days. But since then, Rwanda is known for their unity and reconciliation and the progress that the country has made. And it just didn't happen. It happened because of intentionality and good leadership, and because they actually worked through what led them to the genocide of the Tutsis. And it was a progressive genocide. And my fear, after learning about the process, is like I continue to see some of the same practices here over the last 20 years where I've been in public service work and post when I was in high school, and that's been a call of action to me, and I believe to the board as well. It's like, how are we creating the systems where we're, one, acknowledging, addressing, and ensuring where that doesn't happen here, in Oregon, let alone Maloma County. So again, I think the thing that I've been challenged over this past year, thinking about the struggles internationally, but specifically in East Africa around the Congo, it's just like, how are we serving the folks that are being indirectly or directly impacted by their family members around the things that are happening here or across the world. And we do have an obligation, actually, to address that, whether it's through mental health services and direct services, and that's one of the things that my office is working with the staff on. And just, again, I just want to challenge us to move beyond just the proclamation. I appreciate that, but also just the action, and that's one of the things that Ms. Sadat mentioned as well. So there's a lot to unpack. Beyond honored to take the space for the next 10 minutes to just sit and acknowledge all the things that we're going through internationally and then here locally. So thank you, board, for creating this space. And together, we will be the change that we want to see. And I'll pass it to you.
Thank you. My name is Ann Bowie. I work for Maloma County Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson, and I have a message from her that I will read. I'm sorry that I'm not able to join you all today for this important proclamation. I want to thank the many Maloma County staff who have continued to advocate for this board to recognize and name these atrocities that persist in our world, including the present-day genocides against the Palestinian, Rohingya, and Sudanese people. I know that for some of you, the pain of these atrocities is personal, in which you carry even as you show up to serve our community every day. And for all of you, I know that your advocacy is fueled by a sense of justice and a desire to forge a better future for our world. These are also the values that guide our work here in Maloma County, and I'm grateful for your efforts. Thank you also to my colleagues on the board for co-sponsoring this proclamation, and I'm especially grateful to our honored guests at the table and in the audience who are here to share their stories and represent the many communities impacted by genocide. Your courage and resilience is a strength for our county, and I'm glad that we can offer a platform today and next Tuesday at the bridge lighting ceremony to uplift your experiences. There is no perfect or right time to stand up for human rights and speak out against state violence. It is only important that we do so. Local governments are not exempt from obligations under international human rights laws, and in fact, as Volker Turk, UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, says, local governments are the forefront of bringing human rights to all. Today, by giving pause to honor all the lives lost and pay tribute to all those who have suffered as a result of genocide, We are doing our part to achieve accountability and pursue justice for those victims and survivors of genocide here in our country, in our county, and across the world. And with that, I'll turn it over to our guests to introduce themselves, and then they'll take turns reading different parts of the proclamation. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Nurul Haq. I am a Rohingya youth. I am a Rohingya genocide survivor. I came December 4, 2023 in United States from a refugee camp in Bangladesh. I was born into a world that had already turned it back on me. My earliest memories are not of playground or classroom, but of crowded tents, rations, lines, and quiet grief that hung over refugee camp like a permanent shadow. I am a Rohingya, raised stateless, silent, and scared by a genocide that stole my homeland before I ever see it. I didn't choose to be a survivor, to be a refugee, to born as a refugee. I inherited survivor from my parents who fled burning villages and buried loved ones without graves in Myanmar, Rakhine State. I grew up surrounded by the stories of unimaginable loss, and I carry those stories in my bones. Every day in the camp was a lesson in resilience, learning without books, dreaming without rights, and hoping without promise. As a refugee in Bangladesh, I have faced countless barriers. I was never had the chance to access formal education. I had never had the right to vote and to be a test of citizenship. I was denied access to formal education, restricted from moving freely, and excluded from the society around me. I have never held a citizenship card. I have never voted. I have never known what does it feel to belong. In Myanmar, my people were stripped of their identity, confined to ghettos, and hunted by the every force meant to protect us. In Bangladesh, we were confined to camps, unable to work, study, and build a future. We lived in limbo, forgotten by the world, remembered only when tragedy strikes. Today, I am speaking as a survivor, as a voice to demand justice. The Rohingya deserve more than survivor. We deserve dignity, rights, and a future. We deserve citizenship, education, freedom of movement, and a voice in our own destiny. I am one of the million, but I speak today because silence has never protected us. I speak because the world must hear what it means to be born into exile and raised in the shadow of genocide. From today, I will request to stand with Rohingya. Rohingya they own the country. They have been living for decades and decades. My parents, my forefather has been living in Rakhine for years. But unfortunately, after 1982, the illegal law that made by the Junta government, since 1982, we had been cut off all the facilities, all the citizenship. Before that, we all accompanied to independent the country. We all have been living there, all the ethnics were there, but it is 1982, they take off everything from Rohingya minority because we are Muslim. As a refugee, I spent 32 years in refugee camp. The shelter was 10 by 10 feet. We were 9 brothers and sisters in 10 by 10 feet. 11 people were total in the camp. I never had, as I said, I never had the chance to go to the government school and facility. Even in Myanmar, our youth cannot go to a school with their own name. They had to change their name. Fortunately, I was able to pursue my bachelor degree from a private university in Bangladesh. Although it was not easy for me, I had to change my name, I had to change my identity, everything. As a refugee, I was not allowed to go to school. Since I come here in America, the very beginning, I get approved to work, which I never had since I born. After I come, within a few months, I got a job, which was just a dream of million people. This is called public job. Since I got a job in DHS office, Department of Human Services. Still I'm working as a human public specialist, benefit specialist. So this all that how I belong to from beginning to the end today. I'm thankful to the United States and Multnomah County and every single American for giving me the chance to come here. And today I'm here to speak. Thank you so much.
I want to introduce myself. My name is Maxine Fuchsen, and I want to, well, before I start, I just want to say how proud I am. I had no idea of the other proclamations today, and it is an honor. I am so proud to be in Multnomah County, where we recognize such work and such dedication. Thank you. Thank you to Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson, to your staff, and to all the Multnomah County Commissioners for taking part in issuing this important proclamation. I'm honored to be here today with my fellow community members. My background. I'm retired from many years working as a pediatric nurse practitioner here with Multnomah County Health Department. So I have a deep commitment to our practice oath, which states, do no harm. I'm also Jewish, a member of Jewish Voice for Peace, and I'm here from our own historical legacy of pogroms, displacement, and of course the Holocaust. Historical events which are foundational to our beliefs that such atrocities must never again happen to anyone. I've been horrified over the past 26 months as Israel commits genocide in Gaza. As a Jew, I know that our freedom is inextricably linked to freedom and justice for the Palestinian people. The Talmud teaches us pikuach nefesh, which means to destroy a life is to destroy an entire world, and to save a life is to save the entire world. So let us make this proclamation a lived reality, working together until all are safe and free. Thank you.
Hello. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum al-ikhwa al-hudur. Good afternoon, Chair, Commissioner, and honored guest. My name is Nazir Abu Zaid, President of the Sudanese Development Community in Oregon. It's an honor to stand before you today. For me, this day carried deeply personal meaning. I came from Sudan, a nation where far too many families have lived through war. I will say wars for a long time. Persecution, displacement, and the threat of genocide. Like many in my community, I came to the United States seeking for safety, opportunity, and chance to rebuild a life for myself and my family. The journey was not easy, but it was guided by hope. Hope for peace, hope for justice, and hope for future, where our children never have to witness what so many of us have survived. Here in Multnomah County, the Sudanese community is part of a large global family of survivors, people who carry painful memories, but also incredible resilience. We know what it means to lose loved ones. We know what it means to flee home with nothing but courage. And we know what it means to rebuild with dignity, strength, and determination. Today, as the county marks the adoption of the Genocide Convention in 1948, we are reminded of its solemn promise, never again. Past genocide in Namibia, Armenia, in Europe during the Holocaust, in Cambodia, Bosnia, Rwanda, and Congo, along with the present-day genocide in Myanmar, Gaza, and Sudan, serve as stark reminders of the need for vigilance and action to uphold the treaties, principles, and ensure an end to impunity. Thank you for being here today.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you not only to speak about suffering in Gaza, but to share the personal grief that have forever scarred my family. My sister Marwa, a woman full of strength, warmth, and quiet courage, in September 25th of 2025, just 2 months ago, lost her life, not because of illness or age, but because she was denied the most basic necessity every human being deserves: food, clean water, and medical care. She died from hunger and from lack of treatment that should have been available to her.